Their conversation was interrupted by the tinkle of the telephone, which stood upon the table between them, the instrument which both men had been watching anxiously. Hobson snatched up the receiver. "Police headquarters speaking?" "Right. Yes, this is Sam Hobson. I'm here with Crawshay of the English Secret Service. We've got your dispatch." "What's that?" "Well, Chief Downs is on the way, eh? Just started? Good, we're waiting for him." Hobson replaced the receiver upon the instrument. "Downs is coming right along," he announced. "I tell you what it is, Mr. Crawshay," he went on, recommencing his walk up and down the apartment. "I don't feel happy to be so far away from the coast. That's what scares me. Chicago's just about the place they'd land us if this is a hanky-panky trick. We're 20 hours from New York, and the city of Boston sails tomorrow at 5 o'clock." The Englishman shook himself and rose from his recumbent position upon the sofa. He was a man of youthful middle age, colorless, with a pleasant face and somewhat discontented mouth, but keen gray eyes. He had been sent out from Scotland Yard at the beginning of the war to assist in certain work at the English Embassy. So far his opportunities had not been many, or marked with any brilliant success, and it seemed to him that the gloom of failure was already settling down upon their present expedition. "You don't believe, then, any more than I do, that when a certain box we know of is opened at the Foreign Office in London, it will contain the papers we are after?" "No, sir, I do not," was the vigorous reply. "I think they have been playing a huge game of bluff on us. That's why I'm so worried about this trip. I wouldn't mind betting you the best dinner you ever ate at Delmonico's or at your English Savoy that box with the broken seals they've all got so excited about doesn't contain a single one of the papers that we're after. Why, those blasted Teutons wanted us to believe it. That's why some of the seals were broken, and why the old man himself hung about like a hen that's lost one of its chickens. They want us to believe that we've got the goods right in that box, and to hold up the search for a time while they get the genuine stuff out of the country. I admit right here, Mr. Crawshay, that it was you who put this into my head at Halifax. I couldn't swallow it then, but when Downs didn't meet us at the depot here, it came over to me like a flash that you were right, that we were being flim-flammed." "We ought perhaps to have separated," the Englishman ruminated. "I ought to have gone to New York, and you come here. On the other hand, you must remember that all the evidence which we have managed to collect points to Chicago as having been the headquarters of the whole organization." "Sure," the American admitted, "and there's another point about it, too. If this outsider who has taken on the job for them should really turn out to be Jocelyn Thew, I'd have banked on his working the scheme from Chicago. He knows the back ways of the city, or rather he used to, like a rat. Gee, it would be a queer thing if after all these years one were to get the bracelets on him." "I don't quite see," Crawshay remarked, "how such a person as this Jocelyn Thew, of whom you have spoken several times, could have become associated with an affair of this sort. Both the Germans and the Austrians at Washington had the name of being exceedingly particular with regard to the status of their agents, and he must be entirely a newcomer in international matters. From the dossier you handed me, Jocelyn Thew reads more like a kind of modern swashbuckler spoiling for a fight than a person likely to make a success out of a Secret Service job." "Don't you worry," Hobson replied. "Jocelyn Thew could hold his own at any court in Europe with any of your embassy swaggers. There's nothing known about his family, but they say that his father was an English aristocrat, and he looks like it, too." "It was yourself who called him a criminal, the first time you spoke of him," Crawshay reminded his companion.